All right, let's jump right into list 7 from WordSmart. We've got 25 new words to master. My whole goal here is to make these super easy to get so you can remember them and actually feel good about using them. You ready? Let's do this. Okay, so for our first group, we're going to look at words that are all about people and how they act. You can think of these as words to describe different personalities, the kinds of people you meet all the time. So right away, we have 2 words that are complete opposites. It's all about how you handle things. First, there's cavalier. If someone has a cavalier attitude, it means they're kind of careless. They act like important stuff just doesn't matter. It can even come across as a little rude. And then on the flip side, you've got composed. A person who is composed is super calm, cool, and collected, especially when things get crazy. They just don't panic. Let's put these into sentences so you can really see what I mean. For example, she has a cavalier attitude about her bills. See, she just doesn't take them seriously, so she probably pays them late. Now, what about composed? Despite the fire alarm, the teacher remained composed. This is huge, right? She stayed calm, didn't freak out, and that helped everyone else stay safe. So just remember, cavalier means careless and composed means calm. Okay, here are 3 more cool words about people. First, a chameleon. You know the animal that changes colors? Well, a person who is a chameleon does the same thing but with their personality. They change how they act to fit in with whoever they're around. Next is chaste. This word means super simple, plain, with no fancy stuff. Like a room with just a bed and a chair, you could say it has a chaste style. And finally, chutzpah. I love this word. It means having a ton of nerve, like almost shocking confidence. Imagine asking your boss for a raise on your very first day on the job. That, my friends, takes chutzpah. All right, let's switch gears. Our next group is all about verbs. These are our doing words, words for actions and feelings. And trust me, using these will make you sound so much better when you speak and write. So let's break down 3 actions. First, to champion something. This means you support it. You fight for it with all you've got. Think of a superhero who champions justice. Then there's cavil. This is the total opposite of doing something important. To cavil means to complain about really small, silly things that don't matter. And finally, to channel something, like your energy. This means you focus it. You direct it all toward one thing. It's like how a river channel guides water to flow in one specific direction. Okay, now for 2 really different actions. To chortle, what a great sound, right? It's a happy laugh, kind of a mix between a chuckle and a snort. Super joyful. But then we have cogitate. This is a quiet action. It means to think really, really hard about something. So you might chortle while watching a comedy, but you would cogitate when you're trying to solve a tough math problem. Let's get into feelings. First, to commiserate. This is when you feel sad with someone. Your friend is disappointed, so you share that feeling with them. It's about empathy. Now, cloy is a totally different kind of feeling. Something cloys when it's just too much, usually too much sweetness. That candy example on the slide is perfect. One piece is delicious, right? But if you eat the whole bag, it becomes cloying. It's so sweet, it actually makes you feel a little sick. All right, group number 3. What do these words have in common? Well, they're all about being secret or being together with people or being exactly the same. Okay, first up for secrecy, we have clandestine. This just means something is done in secret. Like spies having a clandestine meeting. Now, listen up because cipher is a tricky one. It has 2 completely different meanings. A cipher can be a secret code, like something you use to send secret messages. But it can also mean a person who is totally unimportant, like a nobody. So you really have to pay attention to the sentence to figure out which one it is. Next, let's talk about being together. A cohort is basically a friend or a partner you do something with, like the people on your team at work. Those are your cohorts. Then we have compatible. This is a great word. It means 2 people or things just work well together. They fit. If you and your roommate both like to keep the apartment clean, you're compatible. And finally, to comply. This one is simple. It just means to obey a rule. When you're driving, you have to comply with the speed limit. Oh, you definitely know this word, probably from science fiction movies, right? A clone is an exact, perfect copy of something. We usually think about cloning animals like Dolly the sheep, but you can use it for anything. If a company releases a new phone that looks exactly, and I mean exactly, like last year's model, you could totally call it a clone. Okay, moving on to group 4. These words are about some pretty big ideas. Value, power, and memory. Getting these down will really help you, especially if you're writing or speaking in a more formal or academic way. So, another pair of total opposites. On one hand, you have classic. A classic is something that's the best of the best, something so good it sets the standard for everything else. Think of a classic car or a classic movie that people still love 50 years later. And on the other hand, you have chaff. Chaff is just worthless junk, the stuff you throw away. Originally, it's the useless part of a plant, but now we use it for anything worthless, like when you get a long email and have to sort through all the chaff to find the one important sentence. So let's talk about clout. What is it? Simple. It's power and influence. If someone has a lot of clout, they can get things done. They have a lot of sway. And what about commemorate? Well, to commemorate something is to do something special to remember it. It's all about honoring a memory. That's why we build statues and monuments, to commemorate important people or events from the past. Okay, time for our last group. And I saved the trickiest ones for last. These are words that can really trip you up because they have opposite meanings or they sound super similar to other words. If you can master these, you're in great shape. First up, the verb cleave. Now here's a question for you. Does this word mean to hold on to something tightly or to split something in two? What do you think? Well, get ready for this. The answer is it means both. I know, it's a weird one. Very rare, very tricky. Let me explain this because it's wild. Cleave can mean to stick to something. For instance, the wet shirt cleaves to his back. It's clinging to him. But it can also mean the complete opposite, to chop or split apart, like the axe cleaves the log in two. So how in the world do you know which meaning is being used? It's all about context. You just have to look at the rest of the sentence to figure it out. All right, here's another mix-up I see all the time. Let's say you're talking about the most exciting part of a story, the big finale. Is that the climactic moment or the climactic moment? Let's make this super clear because how you say it matters. The first word is climactic. See that A sound? Climactic. That's all about the climate, the weather. But the second word is climactic. Hear that? Climactic. That one is all about the climax, the most exciting part of a story. So a big storm is a climactic event, but the final battle in a movie is the climactic scene. It's all about climate versus climactic. And let's wrap up with a really positive and useful word, competent. If you are competent, it just means you're good at something. You have the skills you need to do a job well. You are capable. So you could say she is a competent programmer, which means she knows how to code well. And there you have it. That's our list of 25 words. We covered everything from attitudes like cavalier and composed, all the way to super tricky words like cleave. You've just added 25 new words to your vocabulary. Seriously, great work. So you see, learning words in groups like this, opposites, words with similar ideas, it really helps them stick in your head, doesn't it? So here's my challenge to you. Which one of these 25 new words are you going to try to use today? Just pick one. Give it a shot.